Explain like I'm 5. Why do cheap lighters have a divide in their fuel reserve? I recently got a science teaching job and had to buy a cheap see-through lighter to ignite the Bunsen's. I don't understand why the tank has to have two different compartments on the inside. You can tilt it and fill up one or the other. Could someone explain why this is necessary instead of one big tank? I believe it's for material strengthening purpose. To keep the lighter from breaking when, for instance, you sit on it. Edit typo. In addition to providing the tank with the ability to withstand structural compression loads when a heavy object is placed on it, the tank is also under pressure, and the divider connects two opposite walls together to prevent them from expanding outward and breaking the tank. It's to strengthen the plastic so it won't burst. Not really much to do with separating the tank. It means the tank can be thinner and use less plastic. Other folks have already answered the main question. A corollary might be, why is the gap between the two halves at the top rather than at the bottom, where it would be able to flow on its own? The answer to that question is because they are injection molded, and a gap at the bottom would make the part stick in the mold. The lighter is made out of flexible plastic. Without the support in the middle, the plastic can flex and crack, letting the flammable fuel leak out and maybe catch fire. It's a support in the middle to keep the tank from being crushed and broken while still using the minimum amount of plastic. Bic brand lights have the more oval shape that gives them strength. Why did I just waste 30 minutes reading about this? The fuel tank is under enough pressure to force the butane gas into being a liquid. That's quite a bit. The connecting rib in the middle is to keep it from exploding outwards or being crushed inwards, while using less total plastic than making the walls thicker. You'll notice the straight-walled lighters like you described have the divider, which is actually more of a rib as it allows pass-through to either side. Then there is your classic Bic, which is oval. Both speak to structural integrity. Hold up. Science teaching job and you're here asking what is basically a science question. No one concerned that OP is going to teach science and needs an explain like I'm 5 explanation for this. No one's mentioned that it also helps you get that last bit of fuel. Actually, great way to squeeze out a little more utility from the design that is there for structural and manufacturing purposes, as people have said. Think about it. It could have a hole in the middle, but that would lead to two separate tanks. A hole at the bottom would allow the fluid to gather at one of the corners away from the tube so it won't get fuel. A hole in the top allows the user to invert the lighter, move all remaining fuel to one well and have it pull up in one corner right by the tube. You don't have a flint striker? Those things are relatively cheap and last nigh on forever. They're actually better than ones without the divider, as though the fumes and liquid are more concentrated in that section. The ones without always seem to pack in, due to lack of gas long before they're empty. I'm pretty sure the only reason is strength. Bic lighters also have a divided tank like the cheap crack lighters do. It makes it easier to use more of the gas. You can let the gas flow into the half with the wick. I believe they are made that way because some people do not realize this. And when the first section runs out of butane, instead of tipping the lighter sideways to fill up the other side, they throw the lighter out and buy a new one. This way, the lighter company can get people to buy their lighters twice as often. Because some people are not aware of this fact. More profits.